smile when things always take a while, and it feels life's not worthwhile, and you've gone the extra mile. I need some help figuring things out. I need faith to deal with all this doubt. We may never know the reason why. Try and find a way to just get by. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be alright. Promise you'll smile again. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be alright. Promise you'll smile again. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be alright. Promise you'll smile again. It's gonna be alright. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be alright. Promise you'll smile again.
Yo, what's up, TLR at home? So good to see you, even though we're not in the room,
not seeing you, yeah.
but we see you. We know you're out there. My name is Ben, and this is our good friend Caleb.
What's
man,
up, guys?
how you doing, man?
I'm good, dude. If we haven't met before, we're on the TLR team here at Woodstock, and we're so glad that you're tuning in for TLR at home. It's something we try to do once a semester where we take TLR to you, to your living room, your bedroom, wherever you're at with your people, and just hang out a little bit. And if it's your first time ever experiencing TLR, head to the description in this YouTube video. There's a number you can text where we still want to get a chance to meet you. So text that number so we can make a connection.
For sure, yeah. And some of you are watching sort of by yourself, but we have a lot of people who are watching at watch parties.
Yeah,
and so
watch parties.
Shout out to all our watch parties. We hope you're
Shout
enjoying the
out.
free popcorn, free pizza.
I hope they even saw the free pizza cart, because that would be tragic.
Right now,
They
go
didn't
order
see
that
it.
pizza right
Order
now
the pizza.
because it's free. It's
Yeah.
free. So.
And take out the bingo cards, right?
Yes,
the
yeah.
bingo cards.
Take out the bingo card, follow along with your group, with whoever you're watching with, and let us know if you get bingo, because
Let us-
there's
yeah.
a special prize on the line.
We do have a prize that you'll have to be in the room to get. You
Gotta be.
But, yeah.
Well, hey, before we get going, we have a quick update for you guys, something our team's been working on that we're really excited about. You may or may not know, but we have a ton of students who actually reach out to us pretty regularly about getting rides to TLR on Wednesday nights. And so if that's you, we see you. We're trying to figure this out as a team. And so we're actually gonna launch sort of our own Uber service.
Yep.
Like we're gonna have like a TLR ride share.
Yep.
And so here's the deal. If you come to TLR regularly, here's one way you can help us continue to make TLR a great experience and continue to invite other students to TLR. And that's by maybe volunteering to be a driver. And so we're looking for drivers to help carpool some students to and from Kennesaw State campus to TLR on Wednesday nights. And so if you have any interest in that, go to the link in our bio or go to the link in the description, and you'll see a sort of a sign-up form for that. We'll remind you again next week, but just want to let you know that's something we're working on. We hope we can partner with you in helping get more students to TLR on Wednesday nights.
Yeah, but
So-
we need drivers, and we know you guys probably have lots of questions. We're happy to answer those questions. We have have been diving into the details of that for the past couple weeks. So please ask those questions. And riders, do not worry. We'll have more info for you coming up soon once we get you some actual chauffeurs. We're not going to call them that, but we got to come up with a cool name.
So we're excited about that. We're excited about it.
But before that, we've got a service coming up tonight. It's going to be a little bit shorter, going to look a little bit different than a regular TLR here in the building. But to start out, we got to have some fun. We got to play a game.
Yeah.
And since we're in this series called Big Reputation, we want to do a game that kind of ties into reputation.
So we decided, we went on Google, Google Maps, and we decided to look up some of the, reviews of some of the local universities. So Kennesaw State, Reinhardt, Chat Tech, and we decided to pull some of the reviews to see, hey, what's the reputation of your schools? What's the reputation of the universities around here? And Caleb, they were hit or miss. They were hit or miss.
I haven't seen the whole list.
Yeah. And so we're just gonna read off some of these reviews. They're amazing. Okay, the first one.
And you talk in your groups about whether or not this feels true for your campus.
Exactly. All right.
Okay.
All right. Here's the first one. Okay, all caps. We're starting off strong.
Oh boy.
All caps. Avoid at all cost. You will more than likely not graduate in 4 years. I think they try to do everything in their power to keep you there, so they'll keep getting your money.
Your money.
It took me 6 years to graduate. What are your thoughts on that?
Ben, that feels like a personal problem.
That's what I was thinking.
That's like, how is that on the university if you're taking? And some people it takes 6 years. Like
for
COVID messed up some things. Some people want a red shirt for sports.
Yeah, or just take that victory lap, enjoy college. But I think that's probably his or her fault.
How would a university keep you there?
I don't know. Avoid at all costs.
Avoid at all costs.
All right, next one. Here we go.
One.
All right, I think a lot of you are gonna feel with this one. Ready? It should not take me an hour to get to class while living 10 minutes from campus.
Yeah.
The parking is horrific. If we are paying $95 for 1 semester for a parking pass, it shouldn't take an hour to park in our designated areas. Thoughts?
Valid. I feel like that's valid.
Times we've gone to campus, we get it.
Tough.
We get it.
I'm honestly always worried that I'm gonna walk back to my car and it's either gonna have a ticket or a boot. I just don't. I'm so nervous driving around on KSU. I don't know where to go.
How many times have you parked in an unauthorized parking spot?
Legally, I will. I
you can't say.
Can neither confirm nor deny.
We know you've done it,
but it's potentially more than zero.
Hey, make sure you pay those parking violations though, or they won't let you graduate, and you'll end up being.
That's what happened.
That's what happened. Okay, it makes more sense now. It makes more sense. Okay. Oh, this one's good. All right. Quite literally the most disgusting school I've ever been to. I had someone banging and screeching into my door like an animal for 3 months, and eventually, this is how he or she decided to figure out this problem. Eventually, I started screaming back because I was tired of being silent.
Dude.
Just not gonna confront the person at the door. I'm gonna just scream back.
And they let it go for 3 months. 3 months.
I missed that. Yeah.
Me and my brother, we live together, and we've got this guy outside of our complex who we know every single time he comes home because he rides a motorcycle and for some reason feels the need to just sit there for 5. And him and I will meet in the living room and stare at each other. We're this close to walking out onto our balcony.
But then he's gone.
And then he's gone. Yeah. How about
the rooming situation?
Have you ever had some go south like that rooming wise?
Man, when I was in my dorm, my freshman year of college, we had a community bathroom. Man, that thing was disgusting.
I believe it.
It was cleaned maybe once a quarter. It was so gross. So I do not miss the dorm days.
Yeah.
Do not miss the dorm days.
Miss it at all.
All right, this one's fantastic. All right, it's pretty short and sweet, to the point. It is way too cold for me. I hate cold weather, and that's all there is.
Here?
Here.
Cold here.
That was on a local university's review.
Do you have
2-star review?
You guys feel like it? I feel like it didn't get cold last year till Christmas.
Or hey, just wait a couple months and it's gonna be warmer. You know,
Yes.
Or put on a jacket.
There's a new thing called jackets. I can't really talk though because it is always freezing in this building.
That's true.
So
That's true. Make sure you're bringing a jacket TLR next week.
yeah, we might have hoodies coming soon.
But Caleb, we couldn't go all negative because there's some amazing things about Kennesaw State and Ryan.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
have
yeah.
amazing universities, and so we decided to pull some positive ones too. I love this one, right? KSU is on the rise. On the rise. I love it. And there's no better time to be an owl. Hootie hoo. Only if you can afford the meal plan.
Oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah. Well, and the wild thing too is when we were on campus for
Yeah.
it wasn't orientation, it was the fair day.
Oh yeah, the student involvement fair.
Student involvement fair.
Yep.
Man, oh man, was there nowhere to eat within like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It was
always backed up.
Yeah.
Man, that Chick-fil-A makes bank though. Like,
I'm trying,
you know what I'm talking
trying
about.
to get like down.
All right, and then here's another one. Kennesaw State has made some major upgrades. The school is starting to look like an Ivy League university. We've got Harvard of the South, right down the road.
Harvard of the South,
right down the
is
road, 10 minutes away.
They have gotten upgrades.
Yeah,
definitely.
I feel like all the time I see a construction
And I can't disagree because I don't know if I've been to it. I think I've maybe been to one Ivy League campus. I don't think KSU feels Ivy League.
I don't think it's the same vibe. Don't they?
And if it does feel Ivy League, then Ivy League needs to raise their standards.
hey, you got some Kennesaw State.
My fault. We're proud of you. You got this within 6 years.
These are positive. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here's last one. This one's great. I greatly enjoy the city since I come from a very humble town. I love going to all the events, the friends I've made, and the different activities outside of campus. It's truly a joy being there. Kennesaw feels like my home away from home. Now, we know one of you had to have written this review. So,
because if not, then that's just
it's just home away from home. It's going global.
Let's take it.
Yeah,
I love it. Y'all do a little bit better in March Madness this year, and then it'll be easier to take it global.
Yeah, exactly.
Just please.
Hey, we're on the map though. We're on the map. But yeah,
awesome.
That's the reputation of the local universities around here. But yeah, that was fun, man.
That was fun. Yeah. We're about to hop into the rest of service. We're gonna worship in just a second, and then after that, I'll actually be giving a message to wrap.
Dope message.
Big reputation. I hope it is.
Yeah,
to wrap big reputation. This conversation that we've been having. But before that, we're gonna hop in worship with our friends Clay and Adeline, and we say this every single time that worship, like through a screen, can feel weird. So if you need to just sit and listen and let these songs be sung over you, do that. But if you want to engage in worship, Clay encouraged me with this a little bit ago. He said you have to get into a space of worship. So for you, that may not feel like just standing up right off the couch where you are. You may need to go to a certain part of the room. You may need to turn up the volume on the TV a little bit more so you aren't so self-conscious about your voice or the voices around you. Whatever that may be, let's step into a space of worship right now as we engage with our worship team.
Hey, TLR at home. We're going to sing some familiar worship songs together, and we'd love it if you guys would sing along with us. Lord, I come, I confess, bowing here, I find my rest, and without you, I fall apart. You're the one that guides my heart. 'Cause Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. Where sin runs deep, your grace is enough. Where grace is found is where you are, and where you are, Lord, I am free. Holiness is Christ in me. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need temptation comes my way, when I cannot stand, I'll fall on you. 'Cause Jesus, you're my hope and stay. So teach my soul to rise to you when temptation comes my way. When I cannot stand, I'll fall on you. Yeah, 'cause Jesus, you're my hope and stay. Oh, 'cause Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. 'Cause my one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. Oh Lord, I need you. Lord, I need you. Oh, I need you. Every hour I need you. 'Cause my one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you. My one defense, my righteousness. Oh God, how I need you.
I do the hiding, you do the finding. I do the running, you do the chasing down. I have my questions, you have your reasons. Exhausted my options. There's only surrender now. For the first time in a long time, I give you my heart, unmeasured, unfiltered, the whole thing. I wanna pour out all my devotion
bring you more and more and more. 'Cause if I'm in, I'm going all in. I was made for the deep end. There is nothing more precious than you. I wanna stay a little longer. I'm gonna stay a little longer. You deserve this whole jar of perfume. Yeah, 'cause if I'm in, I'm going all in. I was made for the deep end. There is nothing more precious than you. Oh, I wanna stay a little longer. I'm gonna stay a little longer. You deserve this whole jar of perfume. I wanna pour out all my devotion. 'Cause every drop I am is yours. Nothing is wasted here in your presence. I'll bring you more and more, bring you more. And I wanna pour out all my devotion. Every last drop I have is yours. Nothing is wasted here in your presence. I'll bring you more and more and more. I'll bring you more and more and more. Do it right now. I bring you more and more. The costly stuff, bring it to him. I bring you more and more and more. No embarrassment here. I bring you more and more and more. 'Cause you deserve this whole jar of perfume. 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 Thanks for singing with us. We're going to hear from Caleb in just a second.
What's up, family? If we haven't met yet, my name is Caleb, and I'm part of the TLR team here, and I'm beyond excited to engage with you like this, because I'm typically in the booth in the back of the room or leading worship, but they let your boy preach tonight. So let's get after it. I want to have a conversation with you over the next 15 minutes or so, where we wrap the conversation we've had over the past few weeks about the reputation of the church. It doesn't take a genius to recognize that the church at large has had a pretty bad rep with the rest of the world, and if we want that to be different, if we want it to change, it requires us to be aware of and make some adjustments on the example that we set. So, to recap, in case you haven't been here or need a reminder, Samer started this whole conversation by asking us the question, how can we begin to repair the reputation of the local church? He told us that the answer to this question starts with our individual reputations as those who make up the church. And if we're to be a church and a people who inspire others to follow Jesus, which is the mission of Woodstock City, our reputations matter. Then last week, April Farmer dropped a word and had us take a look at the life of Jesus to examine what he did to set a good reputation. And put quite simply, good reputations come from good relationships. People that the religious elite saw as sinners couldn't get enough of Jesus, and not because he was just like them, but because he pursued, saw, and cared for them. And tonight, I want us to take a look at not what Jesus said, but instead what he did, not what he did, instead what he said, to see what we should be aware of if we want to continue to repair the reputation of the local church. So, if you've got your Bible on you, go ahead and flip or scroll to Matthew chapter 5, and we're going to read through verses 13 to 16. This section of the Gospels documents Jesus' most famous teaching, the Sermon on the Mount, and the verses we're about to read give give us incredible and accurate insight concerning the reputation of the church and how it pertains to us. In verse 13, Jesus says, "You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled by men." Now, right off the bat, I'd expect you to be a little confused. Like, how can a person be salt? Are we supposed to go sprinkle ourselves around the world? And not just that, the rest of the verse talks about what happens when we're not being salt, when we lose our saltiness. If we can't be made salty again, do we miss our shot to be what Jesus is calling us to be? If we mess this up, will we be thrown out or disowned? I know most of you know what salt is, but let me start by giving you the context of what salt was back in the first century. Salt was one of the most valuable commodities because of its many uses. We'd live a pretty tasteless life without salt right now, but back then, it would have been impossible to live without salt. It was that valuable. The first use of salt that we all know well is that salt makes everything better. You ever go through the Chick-fil-A or McDonald's drive-thru and take that long anticipated first bite of French fries and you find out they're not salted? Something that heinous and criminal will make you want to throw the fries back through the drive-thru window. Like unsalted fries will always make me consider becoming a Karen. Why? Because salt just adds that much value. It elevates food and flavors. As the salt of the earth, the world should be better because we're in it. Communities should be better because we live in them. Cities should be better because churches are in them. If we disappeared off the face of the earth, if this church ceased to exist tomorrow, would we be missed? Would we be missed? I hope we're living our lives in a way and leading this church in a way that would cause the answer to that question to be a resounding yes. And not only does salt make things better, salt makes you thirsty. I mean, you know this. You'd be a fool to tear into a Popeye's biscuit without a large glass of water on standby. And I would like to think that if Jesus is calling us to be the salt of the earth, we should be living in a way that makes people thirst for something more. Is the way we live out our faith compelling? Is the way we treat others and make people thirst for what we have? Is the way we treat each other something that makes people want what we have? We should live in a way that creates a thirst for others to know, yo, why do you live like that? Like, why do you treat others like that? Why do you care for me like that? And the part about salt in the first century that you may not know is salt was a preservative. They didn't have fridges in the kitchen or those massive smelly deep freezers in the garage. They used salt. Salt was so valuable because it kept things fresh. It kept things from going bad. What would it look like for you and me to live in a way that preserves the good from the bad? In times of divisiveness, we push for not uniformity, but instead for unity. In times of difficulty and despair, we pointed people to hope. In times of hate, we responded only with love. When people are hurting, we just simply offer to help. When there's injustice, we fight alongside those who are trying to fight for themselves. When it's normal to keep record of wrongs, we're the first in line to forgive. When things start to go south, we help preserve. We can choose to be the salt of the earth. And like the verse says, if it fails to be salty, it's useless. Now, the verse isn't saying that you are useless if you aren't salty. It's saying that your actions, as well-intentioned as they might be, lose the value and impact they were meant to have. And that's a lot to unpack for one night, let alone one verse, but Jesus continues with another analogy in the following verses. He says, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven." You are the light of the world. By definition, as Jesus followers, that's what we are. And Jesus goes on to make a few pretty obvious statements about light. Like a town on a hill, a city on a hill can't be hidden. No one lights a lamp and puts it under a bowl. That would be ridiculous. You put the lamp on its stand to give light to everybody in the house. The purpose of light is to shine in the darkness. If you look closer at the verse, it specifically says, "Let your light shine," which is kind of interesting because it communicates you can be a source of light, but not shining. You ever wake up in the middle of the night and you gotta pee? I hope I'm not the only one that does this, but when that happens, I'm so annoyed that my sleep was disturbed that I try my best to like stay asleep while going to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Like I'll walk slowly with my eyes closed and try to like navigate my room till I get to the bathroom. And then I'll slowly sit down because fellas, we're not trying to aim in the dark. And I'll be honest, I don't even flush till the morning because I don't want the loud noise to take me out of like my fake slumber. And just like that light in my room is useless to me as I stumble around, if we choose not to shine our light, we are useless to the people walking around us. There are countless people in our everyday lives that Jesus is asking us to shine our light toward. And he tells us in this verse that the way we do it is through good deeds. And the purpose is not to point others to praising us, but to glorify our Father in heaven. The ultimate goal of doing good is to properly reflect the heart of our Heavenly Father for the world. And you know what Jesus does here? He's calling all of us Jesus followers who profess to follow Jesus to walk the talk. He's challenging us to put action behind our faith. He's showing us that our faith is not passive, but active, that faith without works is dead. We are to live as if Jesus has really changed our lives. The difference in you is meant to make a difference in others. Salt that isn't salty is useless. Light that isn't shining is useless. And Jesus here is not trying to be unnecessarily harsh with us. He's challenging those of us that follow Jesus to step into the purpose for which we were created, to be the salt of the earth, to be the light of the world, because there is something bigger than us at stake. So, how do we do this? This might be my favorite part of any sermon because there's very little, personally, that's more discouraging or frustrating than being asked to do something and not know how to do it. So let's talk about it. In order to retain our saltiness, to avoid smothering our light, we'll need to do things that might feel a little unnatural at first. We must choose to contribute rather than consume. Just like the next 2 points I'm about to make, this is a sign of a maturing faith. Contributing to the kingdom is looking to put others at the center. Rather than asking the question, what's in this for me? The question becomes, how can I play a part? How can I use my gifts? How can I serve? How can I help? How can I love? How can I give my resources? How can I be generous with my finances, my time, and my energy? Our light continues to shine and our saltiness remains when contributing is more important than consuming. The second thing we can do is choose to face outward rather than inward. April kind of talked about this last week. Like not only did Jesus make himself available to people like Zacchaeus, he looked for Zacchaeus. And as it relates kind of to contributing, it'd be pretty hard to contribute to something we're unaware of. So this requires us to look around, to take a closer look at the people in our circle, to not settle for I'm good as an answer when we're asking how someone's doing. To even look past the people in our circle long enough to recognize those who are hurting, those looking for more, the unchurched, the de-churched, and those skeptical of church. Face outward. And lastly, let's choose conviction rather than convenience. Convenience would tell us it's okay to avoid forgiveness, but conviction says that we should be the first in line to give away the forgiveness we've been freely given. Convenience is letting the transfer student, the new teammate, or the church first-timer figure it out for themselves, but conviction is allowing kindness to push you to walk alongside someone in a space you already feel comfortable in. Let's choose conviction rather than convenience. Salt of the earth, light of the world. So let's not lose our saltiness or smother our light. Instead, let's contribute to the kingdom. Let's keep our gaze outward and let's follow God's leading and conviction. And as we do, we'll get to watch the difference in us make a difference in others. You'll start to see the difference in you make a difference in others. Let me pray for us, and then I got a couple things I want to let you know about before you head out. God, thank you for not asking us to do anything that you either, one, didn't example in your own personal life, and two, in a way that, not asking us to do anything, that you didn't teach us how to do. Thank you for making these things so easy to digest, the need to be salt, the need to be light. And God, the reputation of the church, changing the reputation of the church can feel like a pretty insurmountable hill anytime we scroll through any form of media right now that seems to kind of just consistently be ripping the church apart. Because quite frankly, the church has gotten it wrong a lot of times. But God, would you give us the courage to change that? Would you give us the boldness? Would you continue to give us the wisdom to see how we can change that? Would we choose to contribute rather than consume? Would we choose to face outward, to open our eyes, to open our ears, and to let that influence how we step in? Would we choose conviction, your conviction, over our convenience? And Lord, would you walk with us as we do it? We can't do it without you. We don't want to do it without you. We don't want to do it without the people around us. So would you provide in that way as we continue to work on this, as we continue to mature in our faith? We love you. We pray this in your name. Amen. Amen. Well, guys, three quick things to know before you go. Again, that ride share, if you're interested in being a driver for the students at a lot of our campuses that need a ride to TLR, please hit the link in the description or head to the link in our Instagram bio and sign up. We'll send you some more details. And again, riders, don't worry, more details will be coming your way soon. The second thing you need to know is that next week, y'all, we got a night of worship. We got a night of worship with the entire church, but don't worry, we need you guys to lead the way. We're not just gonna make you fight for a seat. We're gonna have a section just for you so that you can show all the adults how we do this thing. So please come. We're gonna be in the auditorium. We'll have dinner in the attic, and we'd love it if you were there. The last thing is we're gonna put a couple questions on the screen talking about big reputations, this whole series, that we'd love for you to either digest personally, answer for yourself, or that you could talk to the people at your watch party and engage in. I wasn't paying attention to the bingo card, and I think they nailed me and all my isms that I do. So if I got you bingo, you're welcome. Come to TLR next week and we'll get you a prize. But fam, we love you. Thank you guys for joining us. We hope you have a great rest of the night, and we'll see you next week for the night of worship.